Welcome everyone to ccqMap.com. Thank you so much for tuning in again. This is the part 2 of the full tutorial of QMap Standard. So without further ado, let's jump into the demonstration. Let's start by loading a sample picture. First, let's take a look at this Restore button. This button allows the user to restore a processed image to its initial condition. Let me show you what that means. So first, I will start a linear analysis and extraction function and randomly choose some sample points across the image. Click Test. And we will flatten the extracted information onto the image by pressing the Process button. Okay. So what if the extraction result is not satisfactory? Well, we can use the Restore button to reinstate the image to its original condition. Let's do it now. As you can see, the image is now restored and all the previously flattened information is cleared from the image. Then let's take a look at the Max button here. So the Max button allows the user to zoom in the image as close as possible so you can see the individual pixel. Let's do that now. As you can see, the image has been zoomed in to the very pixel. And it is also very easy to pan around and navigate. So let's zoom out. And let's go back to the previous image. So the next 4 buttons on the toolbars are Zoom in, Zoom out, Original image, and Full image. Where the Original image button will display the image in its default resolution. Let's do that now. As you can see, the picture is displayed in its default resolution, so we can only see part of the picture. On the other hand, the Full image button will resize the image so the screen will display the entire image. Let's try that. It's worth noting here that you can simply use Control and the arrow keys to achieve these 4 functions. The next 4 tools on the toolbars are Brightness and Contrast tool, Sharpen and Smoothing tool, Grayscale, Inversion and Monochrome tool, and Channel Exchange tool. Let's go through them one by one. First, let's open the Brightness and Contrast tool. Here, again, we can see a few parameters that we can control. We can adjust the brightness and contrast by clicking these two fields. For example, if we want to increase the brightness of the whole picture, we just increase the brightness meter by dragging this handle. And let's click Test. If you think the brightness is too high and want to restore the handle to the default location, just click the Reset button. And same as contrast. Now let's input a new brightness and contrast value and do it again. If we are satisfied with this result, we can press the Process button to flatten the change to the original image. Let's do it now. And we can do the same for contrast. And we can press Process to flatten this change. It is worth noting here that QMap is able to work with image by channels. As you can see on top, we have 3 ticker boxes that represent 3 channels. By ticking these boxes, the user can choose to change the brightness and contrast for channels separately or in combination. For example, let's say I want to change the brightness for green channel only. So we will only leave the tick for the green box on. So for now, I will restore the picture so we can see it more clearly and zoom in a little bit. So again, let's only leave the green ticker box on and adjust the brightness handle, and let's test that. As you can see, all pixels green channels are being brightened and enhanced, so the whole image looks greenish now, although originally it was bluish. Let's say that we are satisfied with this result and want to flatten it to the image. So the image will be presented as it is. Now let's clear that for the next demonstration. The next function of QMap is Sharpening and Smoothing tool. Let's open it right now. As you can see in this dialog box, we can adjust the sharpness and smoothness of the image. The user can adjust the intensity of the adjustment by increments of plus or minus 20. Again, QMap also offers the option of adjusting by channels. Let's start by performing a sharpening process on the image. So for now, let's keep all the channels on, so the process will sharpen all the pixels equally. Sharpening means to make the image detail more distinct. Let's make some adjustment on the Increment tab and click Test. As you can see, the image is more distinct and detailed after the process. Next, let's try the smoothing tool. Smoothing means to make pixels more similar to each other. And let's try that now. And we will use the same intensity. And we can tell that the image is not as clear and detailed as before. As you have realized, QMap Standard offers 3 modes of either smoothing or sharpening. It's for the user to explore every mode and to find the most suitable mode for them to use. Okay, so in this episode, we have covered most of the navigation tools, brightness and contrast tools, sharpening and smoothing tools for QMap Standard. In the next episode, we will cover more of the useful functions in this software. Thank you again for tuning in, and see you in the next tutorial video.